Welcome to AI Half Broken by Design, built on one idea. AI tools are half finished, we are the other half. And this is how I make it work. This is episode 1. If you're new here, episode 0 has the full story. But in this one, projects and custom instructions. Here is what happens. You had a great session. You worked on some documentation, got good results, and everything clicked. A week later, you need to add a new page. Simple enough. You start a new chat, give it the input, and the results are completely different. It doesn't match the other pages. Somehow the formatting changed. AI is non-deterministic. Yes, there are memory features. Yes, things can improve between chats. But it's still hit and miss. There's no guarantee the AI will think, oh, this is the documentation we worked on 2 weeks ago. I know how to do this. Most likely it won't. And then you're stuck. Why do I even bother? That frustration is real, but it's a symptom. The problem isn't the AI. The problem is you're starting from scratch every time when you don't have to. Now, multiply that by everything else you do on autopilot. Formatting documents, polishing emails, aligning slides. All necessary, none of it while you were hired. Projects fix this. Get the repetition out of the way, automate the mundane, and you can focus on the work that actually matters. You might think the answer is better tooling. N8N, Zapier, fancy integrations, those have their place. But they require technical setup, take time to maintain, and they are often overkill for daily tasks. So what are projects? It's a folder. You give it a name, a purpose, and custom instructions. You can also upload additional files to expand the context. But let's focus on simplest setup first. You start a new project, give it a name, add a description so you remember what it's for, and then you go to instructions. Instructions are the prompt you use to copy and paste every time. Now you paste it once, and you don't have to repeat yourself ever again. Here's an example. A Markdown writer. I do this all the time. As an engineer, a lot of documentation lives in Markdown. I keep many of my notes in Markdown. Sometimes I just have a wall of text and I need to format it properly. Rather than explaining what I need and how it should be structured, I have a project called Markdown Writer. The instructions say what I expect it to do, what the outcome should be. I paste the wall of text, hit enter, and get clean Markdown. Drop it into Notion, documentation, wherever. And here is another one. I have a project in ChatGPT where I explained which cuisines I like, which tools I prefer to use, and that I have small children, so recipes should not involve chili. Projects are exactly that, a simple toolkit you use every day. A Markdown formatter, a recipe assistant, a language tutor who knows you're intermediate in Spanish and struggle with the subjective, whatever context you tired of repeating. But projects can do a lot more than that. Say you're managing a few key accounts. Your clients are from different countries, different cultures, and different industries. Each relationship has its own dynamics. Set up a project for each key account. In the instructions, explain who this client is, their nationality, how they prefer to communicate, what the relationship is like, and what you will use this project for. Maybe drafting emails, preparing for calls, or reviewing proposals. Then upload the files, the contract, meeting notes, whatever context you might need when you are in the middle of a conversation. Now, when you're drafting an email about contract renewal, the AI can reference the contract. It knows the terms, it knows the relationship. You can get cultural coaching. If your client is Brazilian, the AI can remind you that relationship building comes before business. If your client is German, it might flag that small talk before the agenda feels off. These are different communication styles, and the AI can help you navigate them, if it knows who you are talking to. Without that context, you get generic, safe, middle-of-the-road answers. AI slop. With it, you get something actually fits the situation. The same idea works for other things. Hiring project where you upload job descriptions, a documentation project where you upload existing pages. Everywhere you have files that inform the context. For now, just know that projects scale way beyond formatting Markdown and drafting emails. Writing good instructions takes effort, so I have a project just for creating project instructions. There is a prompt inside that generates other prompts. I use framework called Craft. It works well because instructions are themselves something the AI has to read every time. Structure matters. Craft stands for context, the background and the purpose. Role, what the AI should act as. Actions, what specific things it should do. Format, how the output should look. Target audience, who this is for. Let's say we have a Japanese client. Let's build the instructions to interact with him. I open my prompt generating project and paste in everything I know about this situation. Who we are, who the client is, what I will use this project for, the cultural considerations, and at the end, I tell it, ask me clarifying questions. Then let's build the prompt together. It comes back with questions, organized by category. Some I expected. What's my role? How often do we communicate? But then it asks things I hadn't considered. Are there friction points I want to avoid? How does Tanaka-san typically express concerns? Do I want to learn the reasoning or just get polished drafts? I answer and it goes deeper. It picks up that I mentioned a pricing proposal and asks, what percentage increase? What's the business justification? What's the timeline it's building a complete picture? What comes out of it is a full communication toolkit. The craft structure is there: context, role, actions, format, audience. Let's also build a quick reference section with a seasonal greetings by month, a table of softening phrases, and a guide to interpreting indirect responses. It even created a three-phase strategy for the pricing proposal: groundwork, the email itself, and follow-up. I copy this and drop it into a new project. Now I have a dedicated space for all my Yamamoto communication. Remember the pricing proposal? The instructions included a three-phase strategy. Phase 1 is groundwork. Have a call first, surface the increased scope naturally. I ask it to draft an email for that call. I mentioned the goal is to bring up the increased volume and new categories without making it feel like I'm building a case. And since it's late January, I ask for seasonal element. The email opens with the New Year greeting. It uses the word evolved to plant the seed about scope changes. It frames the call as a relationship maintenance, not a prelude to a price increase. Below the draft, cultural notes explaining each choice, a guide to reading Tanaka-san's response, positive signs, caution signs, and how to handle follow-up questions. This is what a well-built project gives you: an answer with the reasoning behind it. That's the meta move, a project that makes other projects better. Stop repeating yourself, start doing the real work. That's what projects are for. Next up, the prompting techniques. How to give AI context it needs. Now, build your first project and see you in the next one.